Medfit Rehab founder Joanne James is a medical exercise specialist. Medfit Rehab, restoring strength and movement, making a difference in people's lives. 647-259-5481. MedfitRehab.com. If you're suffering from a host of medical problems, diabetes, osteoporosis, neurological, cardiovascular disorders, or cancer, Joanne James, medical exercise specialist for over 25 years, can develop an exercise program that will make your post-rehab effective and inspiring. Medfit Rehab will provide a hands-on, professionally supervised conditioning program. Medfit Rehab, 647-259-5481, medfitrehab.com. Okay, Michelle Gillis is joining us today, and Joanne will be back tomorrow. How are you this morning, Michelle?
I'm well, Zelda. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you very much. Okay, osteoporosis, what's sex got to do with it? Yeah. Provocative title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, as we're finding out, sex has quite a bit to do with it, and not in the way that this could be going. We're learning now the reason that we hear so much about osteoporosis and fractures. The statistics are usually targeted toward women, and for good reason. We hear the stats from men, but most people, quite frankly, just kind of brush it off. They don't think that they're susceptible. However, what we're learning is the difference between the spine of a male and a female are visible. They're present at birth, meaning the vertebrae in a female, in a small infant girl, is smaller and nearly 11% weaker than that of the boy.
Well, we knew that, didn't we? I mean, some women...
Not necessarily. We knew that from an evolutionary perspective, that women's spines were made differently to account for pregnancy, et cetera, et cetera. And because of all that, we then, as females, become more vulnerable to all those things. But this particular research finding that these differences are noticeable at birth has not been, the well-accepted truth for a while. What that does, of course, is opens up a whole new way of looking at bone health, for example. So if you're to take this in a very proactive way, you can be addressing bone optimization strategies from the get-go. I mean, right now, as it is, we talk about, Joanne's talked a lot about this in osteoporosis stuff, and we have it at times too. We have a certain window of time as females to build up that maximum bone density. Well, if you were to start that process from the very beginning in terms of what you eat and the type of exercise you do, that could change the course of millions of lives. It's sort of that expression, if I knew then what I know now, right. We do know now. If you start young girls on, just paying that much more attention to what we know helps bones when they're earlier in life, it would follow, hopefully, that the bone health would be better as they get older, that we've increased the chances of optimizing those things. Let's face it, right now, young girls are really oblivious to it. Teenage girls really couldn't care less about their bones for the most
part. So what does that actually mean, and what, how does it affect us to such a degree? I mean, women don't do as much. They're not as strong. I mean, I shouldn't say that because they're going to get mad, but it's true. It's true.
Yes and no. Yes and no. So here, what I've just shared with you is one example of where research is backing up the fact that the vertebrae, the spine of a baby girl, is almost 11% weaker, and it is smaller. So we already know from birth that is, to some degree, that biology is destiny. That's already there. But then you brought up the thing about strength. There's what we call absolute and relative strength. There are numerous studies, which I don't have the tip of my fingers right now to cite specifics. However, the point is clear. If you assess, for example, upper body strength, or more specifically, say quadricep, the front of the leg, the thigh muscle, if you assess that relative to men and women, it's almost the same. Meaning, in a relative case, the maximum amount of weight that a woman and a man could resist or withhold or whatever withstand on that muscle is about the same. But then there's all these other variables. You're not just looking at the actual quadricep muscle now. We're looking at how our bodies are constructed. Women have a wider pelvis, a greater Q angle, which makes our knees a little bit more susceptible to things. So when you take that into consideration and you put everything together,
all right.
yes,
So there's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We carry children, which is a different thing, puts emphasis on different parts of our body. But Michelle, we're totally out of time. But it is a very interesting discussion, and we should continue it on at a different time. Okay?
I believe so.
Thank you so much, Michelle Gillis. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Zelda.
Bye.
Okay, take care.
Joanne James, founder and medical exercise specialist of Medfit Rehab, will improve your overall health through medical exercise. Contact Joanne James, 647-259-5481, medfitrehab.com.